Okay, now that we've had technical difficulties sorted out, welcome to the round. What are we? Round 8 now. We're only round 8 of the Hobart Senior Basketball League. We've just sorted our own technical difficulties out because some bloke, namely me, decided to forget most of our technology. Joining me as normal, Ronnie Riggs. And Ronnie, some surprise entries in this game for the Hobart Phoenix.
Yeah, funny enough, Lockie Boucher returns back home, and Terry Masunda now having a run in the local league as well too. More to come on that a little bit later on.
Don't think that changes my prediction. Certainly had Hobart winning this. I think the margin changes, and tip-off there goes to Hobart. Cam Brown straight down the lane, and that's an ominous sign early.
I was going to say, he must have had a good day of teaching in order for to get that one down through the middle straight away.
Collapses starts with the ball out to Brezinchek. King's having a bit of a roll the last few weeks, so Hobart probably going to need to put some pressure on as Masunda, the MVP of the league last year, comes up over the ball. And Ronnie, I'll hand it over to you.
All right, well, Inches has got it. Inches will just pull up and go, well, we wanted him to go bang, but that missed it. That missed everything. Yeah, Terry making the switch from Glenorchy to Hobart Phoenix. Has played with Hobart before, back in his junior days. I can tell you, JB, for a fact, as all comes down to Noah Strassman.
Almost a homecoming in a sense, Ronnie.
In some ways. I'll touch on that shortly. Pawson with a tough shot. That's off. Dolly with the little tip. Davies there to pick up the scraps. Masunda off and running. One-on-one with his former teammate in Pawson. The two Chargers players go at it. Masunda to Brown. They connect well. And a foul being called. Cam Brown will go to the line for two.
Can sense some relief across this Phoenix organisation. As you can see, a deep bench tonight of Dwayne Davey, the crayfish cooker, as he likes to be called, James Newitt.
Yes.
Nick Barker, that looks to be Ethan Martin, and that'll be Lockie Boucher, who's also coming back down, living up in Latrobe at the moment. Ronnie doing a bit of work up there and playing NWBU with Latrobe. It's good to see Lockie back down on the floor.
Yeah, good to see him back here. I want to find out a little bit more why he's back here and what potential that could be going forward as collapses. Goes with a nice wraparound to Brezinchek for three. That's short. And Masunda's there to pick up the scraps. Masunda looks at his options. Hargrave will pull up for a Steph Curry three and knocks it down.
I tell you what, that's going to be the genuine danger tonight that the Kingborough side are going to have to look at. Robbie Inches and Geordie were always going to be a problem, but now that Lockie Boucher and Terry are on here, could be an absolute nightmare.
Pawson misses the sitter and then makes it up for a two.
Great little hustle there. He's been pretty warm the last few weeks, Elijah. He's certainly going to be in the votes and up there early MVP voting, but this is going to be a true test tonight of his skill and his composure.
Hargrave for a long two. That's off. Brezinchek there for the rebound, and he'll come up with four now for the Kings. Goes over to Pawson. Pawson with the up fake and goes one-on-one with Masunda. Masunda will get the foul.
Terry having played some valuable minutes on the weekend for the Southern Huskies, Ronnie.
Yes, played a nice little cameo role and a good win against the Super City Rangers as Pawson puts up the two and short. Brown there with the board and Hargraves to bring it down. They quickly off-bend running and a bit too much on that pass by Geordie, and we'll go back to Kingston.
Hard to believe that we've pretty much got a former and a current former entire pretty much Chargers lineup here, Ronnie, when you go across the floor for the Phoenix.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. As Strassma, Brezinchek, Pawson, a few handoffs happening. Brezinchek looking for a back door, not there. Strassma. One-on-one with Brown as the two Husky teammates go at it. Now Pawson tries to go backhand to Strassma. In the end, it wasn't the greatest of options as Inches is off and running. He'll look now for Hargraves and goes to the drive. And nice move and gets the roll there.
Good acrobatic finish there, Geordie. A great athlete, underrated there with his size at about almost 6'4". Reasonably solid, but certainly got them quicks and can certainly jump as well.
Oh, absolutely, JB, as Brezinchek kicks out the Claspers. He run down to real estate and ball will go to Hobart. So Masunda coming down to the floor now.
Bit of a Froby look about it.
Yes, nothing has changed with good old Terry as he suits up for the first time this season in the SPL. As Hargrave nearly loses the handle. Shot clock at 8 now for Hobart Phoenix. They need to get busy, and Masunda, nice pass into Brown, and that's just good connection between two teammates.
That's just basketball smarts there and being aware of your player there. Terry always a good facilitator of the ball, no exception on that one.
Absolutely. And again, another veteran card in this lead has Brezinchek. Now collapses. He's looking around and then goes for the drive, and it was a good option.
Great finish there by Clapses. That's just a bit of a spark that the Kings are going to need. They're going to require players like Clapses, Brezinchek, Pawson and Stratsman to really fire them up tonight.
So Musunda through a few, try to go to his old teammate Davey, and now foul will be called on Cedar.
Dolliver seemed a little argumentative about Trenton under the basket there. No such luck there on the call. Checking in Dwayne Davey. Geordie Hargrave just going off to the bench for a bit of a start. And I certainly think Hobart will look to take advantage of that deep bench tonight on it.
Yeah, they'll have some depth on that bench. I mean, you had Lockie Bouchins that lineup now, and you know, geez, if they had Ambrose Augusta as well too, geez, they'd be
right it off. I'd think it'd be a right off, Ronnie.
Yeah, it would be. Now ball down low with Strasma, has to kick it around to Collapses. Collapses trying some moves on inches, has to throw it back out. Good ball movement as Strasma goes for three. Yes.
Late close out there by Davey, but a very good shot there by Stratsma, and the Kings just bringing it back to 2 points early.
So 9-7's our score line here as we come to you from the Kingborough Sports Centre. It was a bloody cold day today.
Yes,
in the city of Hobart.
Yes, I'm in the 3 layers tonight.
As Masunda knocks down the free throw.
Good stretch jumper there, much like the guy I'm wearing tonight, Kevin Garnett, stretching the floor. Although I think Terry's about a foot shorter.
That possibly could be true. We'll have to check. Now, Dolliver and Strasma on the run a two-man game. Strasma not on the same page there, and ball went out of play.
Yeah, a bit of a dump down pass there by Dolliver. Didn't get the back cut he wanted. Probably expected a bit more time to work with and just didn't get the desired result.
Looks like Luke Collapses will want a timeout as Kingston will need to talk some things over. As Davey. Now Masunda looking to go middle once again. Puts up that nice little teardrop. That's not there. Now, Collapses gets his own board and then collide of bodies, but play continues. Brezinchek, good Euro step and makes the two.
Good finish there by Brezinchek. And Cam Brown's actually stepped on the line, Ronnie. I have not seen that senior basketball at any level for a long time.
I haven't seen that since a couple of weeks ago in junior basketball. But 4:49 remaining, 11-9 your score line. Certainly a nice start to the game, JB.
Very much so. I'm just trying to make sure our tripod's right. Seemed a little jumpy. Real good now. Very good. Sorry about the wavy camera. We can edit that later.
Yep.
But, yeah, no, a very good start. An interesting start. I mean, having seen the lineups prior to the game, you sort of looked at it and called it all over Red Rover. Kylie McCauley in the house, by the way. She's checked in. She'll be out for still a couple of more weeks with her calf injury. But back to this game at the moment, a very interesting start. I mean, Kingborough are looking very sort of slow and not up to the challenge. But now that they've started to sort of match the tempo a bit, take it inside, they've managed to match it, and we've got a 2-point ball game.
We certainly do, JB, and you know we've tipped this game of the week, so we hope it's living up to expectations at the moment, and
just hoping it delivers, Ronnie. I mean, as I said, when we first walk in and you see two former stars of the league, two former Chargers rocking up to a game they weren't expected to be playing in, it sort of changes your perspective a bit, but nonetheless, the game's looking reasonably tidy, and it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But more on that. When Junior, I mean, how often do you really see that baseline violation there, Ronnie? I mean, I haven't seen one for years.
It's rare. I mean, players, sometimes players just forget where they are on the floor, and it can happen sometimes. So, rules are rules, and we continue. Strasma gets the pass, kicks out to Dolliver. Dolliver looking for his own tip, and that will be on Dolliver as he made contact with Davey. Yeah,
going over the back there. Going to be a long night potentially for Greg. He's going up against a Cam Brown. He's going against a Nick Barker, a Corey Davey, and now that we know a Lockie Boucher, so almost a 4-on-1 matchup on the boards. Adam Van Sant just checking in there for Dolliver. He'll be looking to provide some relief. It looks like that will be Bane Shepherd also in the game there, having checked out from Mason Brezinchek.
So Masunda brings it down. He's got the ball carrying duties now. Davey in turn to the other Davey and Dwayne Davey. Now ball back down to CD. CD 1-on-1 Van Sant. Now Davey, nice pass in the Nick Barker for the two.
That's just the sacrifice they've got to make there. They know they're not necessarily going to be able to get those shots up clean. The lane is going to be crowded, so sacrifice for the benefit of the team, and that's what they got.
So Strasma Oh, not the greatest of passes there. Robbie Inches was able to flick that off. Nice pass into Nick Barker. He draws the foul, and Nick Barker will get another chance to get a couple of points here as he goes to the line.
Bit of a no-look there by Robbie Inches, a veteran of the league, a veteran of basketball in general, former Charger. He's always been about the game and to an elite level, but, I mean, he's still arguably one of the best going on it.
Yeah.
That was just got the sound of the net there as the ball went past on the,
I was going to say, Nick Barker has been a bit up and down with form at the moment, but Robbie can still prove that he can play at this level, and he could. Well, I mean, it's elite. I wish he would have went a bit further in at Siebel level, a little bit longer than what he should have. So. But good to see Robbie still creating. Masunda on the buzzer, no.
Hit the ring though, so able to get a bit of play, but...
So collapses, now Strathmore there, missed it. And ball gets out, that will go the way of Kingston.
Yeah, good hustle there just to get down the floor fairly quickly there. Hobart, good contest at the rim, caused what would have been caused a miss on what should have been an easy make, so... 9-13 here in favour of Hobart, and no real momentum at this point of the game.
No, it feels a bit flat at the moment as Pawson pulls up. A little bit strong.
Went right under the defence there, just couldn't get the result.
Good to see Pawson getting some minutes too on the road as Davey makes it easy too. Yeah,
he's really started to earn his minutes too, which is one thing I'll give Pawson. Played really well here at club level, and has been rewarded at the next level, and again proving his value there as well.
So Van Sant, tough fadeaway shot, that's short. Masunda there with the rebound, and Thierry off and running, looking to put some moves on, and we could hear that one in our effects mics there, JB, and Pawson picks up that foul.
Yeah, definite contact there, Ronnie. There's no argument. If there was, I'd like to know the person who did it as to what they can call contact. As Robbie Inches heads to the bench, Geordie Hargrave checking back in. And we will be getting special comments tonight from Glenn Fairfield in the second and third, Ronnie. I have spoken to the great man, and he will be here.
He might want to give his YouTube channel a plug too. I've seen a few posts from him.
Some pretty decent content up there, though, Ronnie. Some classics.
That is coming from the archives of basketball that we have on file at Chargers TV land.
My question there, Ronnie, is there a man whose shoulder he hasn't placed his arm on? In any of those videos.
Something we might have to ask him in the broadcast. Shepherd, good pass to Van Sant.
Big block there by Davey.
Good rejection. As Dwayne Davey, I should say, comes down with the ball. Putting on some moves, and then has to fall short. Now Masunda. Now Hargraves. Hargraves has to make something. Now foul. So it's a second foul on Corey Davey. Now for an illegal screen. Corey's claiming he got held, and the referee saw it differently.
Yeah, whistle to the mouth too there from the ref. So I think Corey just wants to be careful. He occasionally doesn't mind getting teed up, and this is probably not the game to do it though.
No, certainly not. So they just have to be careful here. Strathmore, nice spin move to the basket.
Great young talent there, Noah Strathmore. Really broke out of his shell last year. Pawson with a near steal.
Yeah, Masunda comes down the floor, splits for a couple, and has vintage Thierry Masunda.
Well, that's why he's Thierry Masunda. I mean, he's been doing that for God knows how many years, ever since he was a junior. And, I mean, even as he's ticked over, he's near that 30 mark, Ronnie, and he's still able to get it done.
Pawson just short. Hargraves right up there for the rebound. He nearly got above the ring. Masunda once again coming down with it. Now Davey, hand off Masunda. Masunda pulls up from three and gets it.
You can't leave him open. In fact, you shouldn't give Thierry any sort of space. I mean, he's the MVP of the league. Scouting report doesn't need to tell you that he can play.
Definitely not. So Pawson, the young versus the kind of the old there in that matchup between Pawson and Masunda. Strathmore loses the handle.
Yeah, just a little excited there was Strathmore. A 10-point ball game now to the Hobart Phoenix. As Cam Brown checking back in, Corey Davey heads to the bench, but it's definitely not the tightest of games here anymore, Ronnie. Hobart just swinging the momentum in their way the last couple of minutes here, and 10 points could be a dangerous buffer with this sort of a lineup.
Interesting development I've just read there. I'll come back to you in a minute.
We'll get to that at quarter time.
Hargraves knocks down the triple.
Comes back off the bench with a bit of a spark. He has been playing well as of recently, Geordie. He had his season high last week, so he'll be wanting to be he'll be very interested in trying to keep that form and probably letting us all know about it as well.
Shepherd, not wrong there. Badsair now collapses. It's on a tough move, but wanted to call referees to concede that way as Hobart Phoenix come down to the upper end of the floor. Hargraves. Now Masunda.
Almost forced the contact on that one there, Clapsis.
Masunda. Oh, nice. Barker with a reverse. Yes.
Going to work down on the low block. The Hobart bench appreciates that, and yeah, I think they're very happy with their acquisition so far. Now out to a 15-point lead.
26-11, and one could think here might be a long way back for the Kingborough Kings as Shepherd pulls up from the free throw. Yes. That's
what you've got to do as a guard. You've just got to understand that if you're not going to get inside and you can't get the stretch three, that occasionally you've just got to pull up. 7 seconds remaining.
So last play here, term number one. Masunda will pull up for three. Doesn't get the roll, but Hargraves on the O board and gets the second chance bucket there. Quarter time sees Hobart up by 15. 28 plays 13, JB.
Yeah, that's a very poor finish to that quarter there by the Kings. They're going to be disappointed there. I mean, awfully hard now when you consider they only scored 13 in the quarter and they've got a deficit of 15. So could be a long battle from here in the second half. Now, you were saying about a development, Ronnie. What can you reveal?
Friends of the program, Brent Costello, has put this up on his Facebook page. The head of Southern Huskies Basketball Advisory Board, Steve Old, says a partnership with the state government is close as he calls for Tasmania to unite as one in the hope of securing an NBL team.
Now that's obviously coming off the back of ABC report during the week, which suggested that the state government and Basketball Tas were indeed actually going into partnership without the Southern Huskies. So a very positive development there for the Huskies, particularly when you consider the time and money invested so far.
Absolutely. I'll be catching up with Basketball Tasmania CEO Chris McCoy for BTAS TV over the weekend as Tri-Series Round 2 is happening in Launceston, JB, and we'll get him for comment then, and you can see his interview up on the BTAS Facebook page later on next week. But a good friend and colleague, Glenn Fairfield, has come on in.
A very good friend of the program.
A very good friend of the program. We'll give him the microphone. I'm going to go take some photos.
Righto, Ronnie. No worries. Glenn, welcome to the broadcast. And you've probably looked at the lineup yourself and wondered what's Lockie Boucher and Terry Masunda doing back down here on the Hobart lineup. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but Lockie Boucher has come back down. He's about to come into the game, and Terry, having transferred over to Hobart, has just made this Hobart lineup look a little different.
They look a lot better, especially in the guard department and the big. So going to be able to help Corey out of
changes your dynamic as an opposition very quickly, doesn't it?
Completely. All class players that have come in. Terry Masunda's a great player, very serviceable player for the Hobart Chargers, now the Southern Huskies. And Lockie Boucher's got...
Well, Lockie Boucher's only 19, 20 years old. I mean, he's still repping state teams. So, I mean, he's a young, prodigious talent. If you're watching, if he gets a chance to fly at the rim here, you'll be very shocked. He's been playing NWBU up in Latrobe, Glenn. So, I mean, you know, a bit of extra talent floating around on the coast with a bit of cash that flows around. So, he'll be hoping that his game is, you know, improved somewhat over the last 2 to 3 months.
Yeah, he's a great player anyway, Lockie Boucher. He's a confidence player, and I'm just waiting over the next year or so when he gets an opportunity to show the coaches in the NBL 1
just what kind of young talent he is.
Yeah, I've not seen anybody that can probably jump or has as much natural jumping ability as Lockie for a long time.
Well, for someone, he's at 6'4", 6'5" range, and he's not a small boy either. So, I mean, I remember last year he threw down a dunk and literally knocked the rim backwards here on the joints as Brezinchek inside, goes to Klapsis, gets the finish. Great, strong finish there from the Kings. They're going to need that early, trying to force some turnovers as well to get back in this one. But yeah, strange start so far, I must say, when you write a review for a game and find out that 2 of the key players of the game you're not aware of until you walk into the building was a strange one, but
completely changes the dynamics of the
no doubt
game
about
for
it.
sure.
Klapsis makes the and one there, great finish there, and they're going to need to build some momentum here, the Kings. I mean, a 15-point deficit when you score 13 and a quarter is very, very tough to come back from.
And at the moment, if you look at the Hobart team, they've got 5 current or former
Chargers.
The ABL players.
Yep.
So, a lot of talent. Then I've got Corey Davey on the bench.
Dwayne Davey on the bench.
And the young guys, young Barker as well. So they've got a lot of talent.
Yeah, they're a very deep roster. I mean, especially when you look there that Ambrose, even though he's out with the knee, if he was back in this side, you'd be looking at, 8 deep as far as Siebel experience. Nonetheless, you can only compete with what's out there and what happens on the night. Doesn't matter what sort of experience you've got. If you've got the talent to win, you do. Inside the Dolliver now on Brown. He doesn't have much help in the big department. Thought he was ripped on the foul. No call there by the referee, and that one will be a Hobart ball. Baseline there from Cam Brown. You'd missed it earlier, Glenn. Cam actually had the old inbounds violation where he stepped over the sideline. I've not seen that in senior basketball in quite some time.
No, I saw one today actually where a guy passed the ball to his teammate on the baseline outside the court, but half his body was in the court. So,
Oh, Jesus.
which was quite amusing.
Lockie Boucher there. Again, wait till he gets a run at the rim. Plenty of highlights of him last year as Stratzma cleans that up for the Kings. Back down the floor through Brezinchek. And this young Kings outfit like to run and gun, but I don't think, Glenn, this is going to be the game where that run and gun style will be to their advantage.
No, I think their tactics or their game plans changed a lot since Kiri and Lockie Boucher have come into the game. There wasn't a real lot of contact in that.
No, just I think it's just the stretch finish there certainly probably exaggerates the contact a little, but nonetheless, good finish there from Elijah, who's been pivotal to this King side so far. And
He's
he's
been
really
great.
going to have a shooting game on tonight.
He shot really well against Glenorchy Spartans the other week. He must have had at least 25 points.
Yeah, I think he finished with around 30 actually.
Yeah.
Almost around that 30 mark. So
And he didn't miss many shots at all, and they were good shots he took, and his teammates got him open, and he had the confidence to knock them down.
I think that's the key with a shooter. And speaking of shooters, Terry Masunda can play almost anywhere on the floor, but Boucher fumbles that one back to Pawson as we speak with him. Goes inside, and they've called the block there. Yep. That one on Cam Brown, just getting his body over. Not in time, certainly straight down the middle there was Elijah, but nonetheless just not able to move over.
And it was a smart foul as well. Ken Brown knew that Elijah was going to go straight to the basket for 2 points. So.
You can't risk the idea of him going straight down. And that one's actually come off Geordie. Did hit the back of the backboard, but off Hargrave himself. Reasonable height advantage here actually at the moment to the Kings, so it'd be interesting to see how long they can use this lineup. Dolliver, short corner there into Stratzma. Bit of body contact there as well, and he'll go to the line for the N1. And the Kings just there, that's the fourth foul on Hobart in this quarter. 7.5 minutes to play. I know they like to say take advantage of the foul count, Glenn, but I mean, are you wanting to get to the line if you're the Kings, or do you just want to stay within your natural game so far?
I think if they penetrate as much as they can, the fouls will come. But I think young Noah Stratzman, he's improved heaps as well. I like his game. He's very unselfish. Picks up easy baskets. Plays hard. Good offensively and defensively.
Yeah, improved out of sight last year. Limited minutes didn't let him show his full potential, but starting line-up job this year has certainly opened that game up a bit for him. Masunda with the ball now. Drives inside, heavily contested. Kick out to Hargrave. Hasn't been afraid to shoot it. Been on tonight, missed that one. Dolliver with a rebound. That'll see Pawson down the floor. Not going to give fouls up here as the Kings just enter a half-court set. Dolliver slow down the floor, probably chopped things up there by about half a second. Here he is now with the ball. Sets a screen, and young Stratzma, who we just talked about going inside, wanted to flick it out, gives it to Robbie Inches, the wrong man to give to, and here's the quickest man in Southern basketball, and he finishes that one with relative ease.
And he's one of the best finishers, of course, just like he put that in there. Terry's been hard to stop for a number of years. He's a great guy. He plays great defence, and he's very aggressive offensively. So he is a big asset to the Hobart Phoenix squad this year.
I mean, you don't need a scouting report to understand that a guy who's won an MVP in this league and plays, valuable starting minutes at an NBL 1 and a Siebel level needs to be taken care of.
Yeah, and I think now that he's in the New Zealand National League with the Southern Huskies, he needs minutes in the local comp just to get ready for when he goes on the court.
Yeah, just to keep some sort of match fitness in would be key. Stripped by Brown as he heads out of bounds. Good save there by Masunda, who's tapped that back into said Brown. Has to be forced onto that right hand. He doesn't always like doing that. Brezinchek goes in. He's been body, and again, and one. And that'll be the fifth foul on the Phoenix in this corner. So every foul from here on in, they've got to be real careful.
And Cam Brown definitely didn't try to foul them, but he just didn't get his body out of the way. That was an easy foul for the ref to call.
I will give the Kings this. Not only are they getting fouled at the hoop, they are finishing the M1s. I mean, how pivotal is that to momentum?
Yeah, they're playing really well. I know they're down by 9 points, but they're playing really well. The other teams just want to be careful that Craig Moller doesn't come back after the NZNBL season at the end of it and qualify for the finals.
Well, I don't think it's actually possible. Unless there's injury, I don't think he can make it. Those that are wondering there, double lane violation by Corey Davey and Greg Dolliver. Jump ball called by referee Connor Westwood has seen Hobart with the ball, and that's the dangers of letting Hobart have the ball, particularly when Terry Masunda's got it.
Yeah, he makes his own space, so that way he sort of dribbled in with his left hand, then sort of moved across, got the defence away and had a nice easy shot.
Michael Klapsis now with the ball. Brother Luke on the bench. Michael goes inside, pump fake to Brezinchek, got the space that I don't think he considered. Pawson hustling for the ball, bit of a scrappy affair. Down the floor now to another veteran, Robbie Inches, and that's a dangerous combination to have. Speaking of dangerous, Geordie Hargrave fighting with the ball, Van Sant gathers it. Pawson's just going to try and slow things up.
That was a tough shot Robbie Inches took then, but he's definitely capable of making them, but although he didn't then.
Dolliver with a big fight over the back there at Corey Davey. Doesn't mind throwing the arm around Dolly, but of course you know you're going to get a battle every night. There's Pawson for 3. And that brings the game now back to 9 points. 8 points in fact, and they're slowly chipping away. Hargrave with the ball now. As we mentioned, that guard combination at the moment of Masunda and Inches just causing havoc. I mean, and that's the problem you've got there. You can't leave one or the other open because they both make you pay.
Yeah, Robbie Inches is a great shooter from inside, you know, from the probably a couple of feet from inside the 3-point line. He doesn't miss too often, especially when open.
Pawson now with the ball. Speaking of not too far open, he's been called with a walk, not very happy with that. And checking in is the arm-folded man, Dwayne Davey. He'll check in for Geordie Hargrave, who's on, seems to be limited minutes tonight, Geordie, and that'll be James Newitt getting ready to check in there. As our team lists go down, Glenn, I have written those specifically for you, but we'll get to those later. We seem to be on top of it at the moment.
I think now Phoenix have got, now with the additional players, they've got such a good rotation that they can afford to sub their key players off.
And I suppose at the moment they can risk getting the minutes into these guys too because of the experience. These younger guys can learn off these senior players.
Yeah, well that was a great pass by Robbie Inches into Corey Davey. I think they've done that probably 500 times over their careers.
Probably combined for almost 500 times a season.
Yeah.
Brezinchek with the ball, kicks back to Dolliver, who's just trying to open that floor up, and that's how he's done it. And that's the play they're going to have to use, Kingston, just trying to draw the bigs out of the lane to capitalise on their perimeter game.
And it's good as well. You talk about Robbie Inches and Corey Davey, Greg Dolliver and Elijah Pawson, they're starting to really gel as the years go by, and they're getting good place between them, from big to small.
Well, I mean, that's the sort of play you just saw there. Dolliver stretching the ball and a well-coordinated cut from Pawson. Back to 10 points now, 39-29 in favour of the Phoenix. There's Brezinchek for 3, unable to make it. Cam Brown cleaning up on the boards once again. He's done that a lot this season, almost the MVP of the league and so far. Will be a bit of a tough test at the top of the table there. Speaking of top of the table, get a body on him, that's all I can. You can't leave him open anywhere.
No, he's he can shoot. He can shoot. He's not afraid to shoot, but he takes good shot options as well. So defence has got to be on him, otherwise they're going to be in big trouble on the scoreboard.
Not only is it a pleasure to watch, but I'm assuming a pleasure to play with. Van Sant with a nice running floater there. As Masunda back down to the floor, I mean, he's the 3 votes from me so far, but I don't think anyone's shocked about that. Inside out dribble gets Terry twice. Is he going back up again? He is. Fell short there. And they've called the offensive foul on Hobart. He just wants an explanation on it. And that'll be interesting to see. James Newitt, the Cray cooker he wants to be known as, timeout. And that'll be interesting to see what comes there. Timeout there sees the scoreline at 31-42, an 11-point ball game. And the Kings really don't seem like they've capitalised on the foul advantage so far, Glenn.
No, not at all in that sense. However, they're still sticking. Like, it's only 11 points. It could be a lot more. So I think they'd still be happy with where they're at. Because obviously Phoenix got a jump on them in the first quarter.
Yeah, well, they've pretty much really for the entire quarter. There's no doubt about it. They have outscored the Kings. It's just a matter of Really, it's just a matter of trying to peg back a lead, and obviously when you're 15 points down at quarter time, you know, trying to outscore your opponent by 16 and essentially hold them to nothing. You know, trying to go on a almost 25, 26 point advantage in a quarter is almost impossible in any level game.
Yeah, I guess Kingston at the moment would be trying to look at what they want to get the gap back down to by half time. However, in saying that, Phoenix have got such a talented team that it's going to be hard to bring it back down from at least 10 points at half time.
As we look there over the back foul, so again that will put the Kings on the line. Quick lineup update for everyone is Dwayne and Corey Davey, Terry Masunda, Cam Brown and James Newitt there, number 30, our headband friend for Hobart. Meanwhile, for the Kings, we've got Noah Strathmer over the back, Adam Van Sant going to the line. I thought Dolliver was fouled, and if Dolliver was fouled, shouldn't he be on the line to shoot? I don't know. I thought Dolliver was fouled nonetheless. Mason Brezinchek also there. That'll be number 6 also. That'll be Bane Shepherd. We're just trying to find out here, but yeah, Glenn, I'm pretty sure Dolly was the one that got fouled.
Yeah, it was someone down the back line.
Either way, they put Van Sant on the line and he's missed both. So, I mean, could have been probably a bad tactic there from the Kings. Speaking of bad tactics, letting this man run the floor. God damn.
Nice left-handed lay up there by Terry Masunda and just put on the afterburners and off he went, and the defence couldn't stay with him.
Unbelievably quick to watch live. A lot of people, you'll sort of see him on television and he's not as easy to pick, but to watch Terry live, I mean, he gets up and down the floor in, 5, 6, 7 sort of seconds there. It's very hard to keep an eye on a guy like that. As Van Sant goes inside the Stratsma, having to play a stretch 5 here this year, Stratsma, not too impressed with it, but nonetheless getting the job done. That one there's come off his leg, and that'll be a Hobart ball. 2:19 remaining, 31-44 there remaining in the corner. 13-point lead there to Hobart. Terry just probably going to slow it down a bit. Nui's got to keep his eyes open here. He knows how to cook a crave, but he probably knows how to cook possession if he's not careful. As Masunda again with the ball, just unlucky there, just got the hands out. Parsons open.
Here comes a dunk.
Go for the jam?
No.
Nah, just a quiet little layup there, but a nice little deflection, and yeah, just probably played around with the ball too much. Newey, talking about playing around with the ball, can't help that.
Good defence there by Cam Brown, jumped straight up. Kingston wanted a foul, but that wasn't a foul.
Ball kicked out now to Pawson. And Corey Davey just cleans up the glass there. They've got to slow it down.
It's a big rebound by Corey Davey. I think they should try and get the ball inside to Corey at the moment.
It almost seems like they've pretty much looks like, I mean, I can see why. They've cleared out for Terry there. He makes another one. But yeah, strange that you're not trying to almost run Corey off the low block, so when the D collapses down that they just dish it off to Corey.
I don't think he even had time to get to his position then with Terry being so quick.
Oh, to be fair, we don't have time to get the camera spinning around. Glenn Stratsman playing that stretch 5, unable to make that one, but
that's unlucky. That was a good shot, just unlucky. Noah's been working really hard in the gym. Brendan Stamwicks and I are working with some of the young elite kids, Jordan Stamwicks, Jordan Hargrave, Jack Stamwicks, Liam Smith, and Noah Strassman and Jacob Richards, and they're really coming along in the gym, so they're getting 500 shots up a couple of times a week, and I think it's paying dividends when they come and play in their social Wednesday, in the
Senior League.
Senior League, sorry.
As you can see, Cam Brown heading to, I was going to say Corey Brown, don't know why, Cam Brown heading to the bench for Geordie Hargrave, and Corey Davey at the line, the traditional fake left go right. Corey
hard to
Davey.
stop, very hard to stop.
Well, especially at Corey's size.
No one can stop him down here. I think they should get the ball into Corey a lot more. I mean, when Dolliver's on, they sort of nullify each other, I've noticed, so I don't know how long Greg Dolliver's going to be off ball for the rest of the game, but when he goes off, I'd be getting the ball to Corey Davey pretty much every time and then run their offense around him.
Well, I think they're almost playing similar roles, really. I mean, they both try and go inside when they're on the floor, but then they also both try and stretch it, and it just sort of pays dividends for everyone else except themselves. I mean, selfless to an extent, but you'd like to see him get involved. Now, that was a bit selfless there. Just gave up the ball to Hobart, and that was an intentional foul. He'll go to the line for 2, but there's no doubt about it. Bane Shepherd certainly intentionally fouled Terry Masunda, and I mean, I don't blame him. You can't let him have a free run at the hoop.
You've just got to try and make the foul look as realistic as possible. Although, really, the ball wasn't the option to foul them, but it's made Terry go to the line and earn his 2 points.
I mean, seldom does he miss. There's the first. As we look on the other court there, 41-39. It's actually a really tight ball game. I wrote that one off a little bit earlier in the week. My apologies there. We'll try and get an update. But Masunda makes both, and I'd have to say that he's got to have 20 on the board, Glenn.
Yeah, he would have. He's got a fair few in this quarter. And they've stretched the lead out to 17 points.
Pawson with the ball now. Goes inside after a ball fake. That'll be Stratsman with the ball. Goes to kick out to Pawson, and that one's deflected.
Might have been good for Stratsman to go inside and just do a layup there. I think he passes probably too much.
Probably not a bad idea too. I mean, he's stretching the 5. I mean, to take that body contact will only improve at the position as well. Inbounds, got to get it in now, and they do just. Speaking of going inside in the layup, he's run into the roadblock with his Corey Davey. Van Sant saves that. 8 seconds, 3 on the shot clock. Pawson rises, mid-range, good. They've got to get it in quickly. 2, 1. Corey's not going to put it up. Dwayne's going to quickly throw it up. No good. That one waved up by Andrew Johnson. There's a crowd oohs and ahs, and at half time, Glenn, that sees as a 15-point margin. Same margin as previous, so that's actually turned into pretty much an equal scoring quarter there. A bit of a letdown by the Kings. And 50-35, what are your thoughts on the half time?
Was that Dwayne Davies' first ever three-point attempt? I've never seen him shoot outside the three-point line before.
I don't know.
And it was pretty damn close.
Well, considering he threw it from near 50 feet, it's not a bad effort there. But yeah, half time, Glenn, and the Kings just unable to make the most of that foul situation there.
Yeah,
in the
they came back a little bit, and then I think when they subbed, and Phoenix have got a lot of fresh legs, and they just continued to extend the league. So they've got a lot of talent, a lot of fresh talent. So Lockie Boucher didn't play much in that quarter. Robbie Inch is ready to come back in. So it's just a matter of Kingston being able to maintain their own players individually. I don't know. I guess you'd have to play a zone, a tight zone. Man-to-man's just not going to work with the talent that Hobart have got on the floor.
You can't risk being burnt one-on-one in a situation with a Thierry Masunda particularly. I mean, we've seen how dominant he's been so far, and really no answer from the Kings for him. But I mean, when you look on the Kings side of the board, I mean, obviously you've looked at their defensive structure. There's not much going wrong with Hobart at the moment. But if you're the Kings, what are you trying to run? Are you trying to get the ball into Dolly a bit more, or do you want him to certainly open up that lane to allow those cutters to get inside?
I'd certainly get the ball into Dolly, but not necessarily so he can shoot, but just so he can get the defence to move. But I think there's got to be a few more screens, even off-ball screens, so get some of these players open without their player on them when they're cutting. Elijah Pawson needs a bit of help on the offensive end. He scored a few points, but nobody else has really stepped up as yet.
Just quickly, Glenn, we've noticed you're uploading very frequently to your new YouTube channel. What have you been putting on there? A lot of retro Tasmanian games and some quality stuff going up there.
Yeah, so a number of years ago, the reason why I lent some tapes to a guy from years ago, and sort of my national title stuff and state titles, and the guy never returned the tapes to me. I'm not sure why, but that happened. So what I'm trying to do is create some good memories for people now, and I was lucky enough to get hold of 19 beta tapes from the 80s with 3 games on each tape, and I'm just putting them online, just let everyone relive the old memories of when basketball in Hobart was at its peak, when the Devils first came in. And there's people from America and all over Australia sending messages saying put more up. So it's good to see some of the people we looked up to and who are still involved in basketball now back in their heyday.
It's one question I do have. You are famous for your arm on shoulder photos. Are there many men in those videos of which you haven't got a photo of your arm on their shoulder?
There's a few of the really good players there and really good people there that I have had a number of AOS photos with, but that's all in fun though. Oh,
absolutely. Speaking of fun, that's been Hobart at the moment. Now the foul's been called there. They've called that on Hobart. I don't think they're expecting. I really don't think they were expecting one. In fact, I don't know what anyone's thinking of that one there. But
I think Thierry was called for an armbar in the back.
Yeah, you can't.
I didn't see it. So the referee was closer. So we'll give the referee the benefit of the doubt.
Dolliver's jumped from mid-court to catch that one, but that's only helped Hobart in possessing the ball a little closer to their end of the floor. 35-50 was our half-time score. Nothing's changed here with a minute gone here in the first. Geordie Hargraves now drives baseline, big finish. Thought he was going to dunk it. I think he thought he was going to dunk it as well.
And I think he airballed it.
Yeah, just got a little too excited there. Don't know how you airball an open layup opportunity like that. lucky he's made up for it on the rebound there, and he's he'll be dirty with himself, Geordie.
I think he could use his left hand. He's good with both hands, so that's very unusual for Geordie Hargrave to miss such an easy shot.
I think it just depends what he's using his left hand for, Glenn. Just ask him. That one there wanted a bit of a foul. Michael Claps is copping a bit of a knock to the head there. He's not sure what's going on.
And you still get a lot of players these days that don't use their weak hand on the weak side. We were always taught that's what you had to do, and it makes it easier for you when you've got defence on you because they can't block. But then again, Geordie was up pretty high, so I'm not sure what happened then. I think it was just a bit of a brain
It did look
snap.
like he was actually going to get inside and slam it. Good finish there by Corey Davey, and again, that's just that's one of those things I actually think Hobart have done now that I sort of recognise that they've allowed Terry to get inside so many times that potentially this second half's going to be the half of Corey Davey.
Yeah, and I think with Robbie Inches and Terry Masunda, the way they penetrate is just going to make it easy for everybody else in their team to score easy and open baskets.
Paulson's been fouled there on the drive. I believe that one there has been called on Geordie Hargrave, so that'll send him to the line for 2. As Connor Westwood's learned, he's learned to work the cameras, young Connor. He's given us free access to the foul line the past few weeks, so... I do. He's learnt well. He doesn't get fined for his comments nowadays. Media ban off Connor. As Pawson misses the first, I think Andrew Johnson can hear us as well. He knows what's going on. And he's missed both. We'll get a bit of a please explain here later from Andrew. Meanwhile, as Terry comes down the floor, that hesitation dribble, that crab dribble that he's got. Good spin there by Hargrave. Gets inside, look to finish, gives to Davey, who's been wrestled there surprisingly by the young ones.
There's a lot of contact inside.
Definitely a reach, definitely a reaching foul there.
And Corey Davies racked up the rebounds offensively and defensively. It'd be interesting to see how many he does have for the game.
I tell you what I'm interested in seeing after the game, and that's the points that Terry Masunda's put on the board. I mean, he's almost scored every basket we've seen, but
yeah,
he's a special player.
And they're looking to get him the ball, his teammates, so...
We've called the foul there. Jordan wanted a hold there, didn't get what he desired. And that's actually the two 23s on each other, Strathmore and Hargrave. What was the big number when you played, Glenn? I mean, everyone looks up to the 23s and the 24s now for the Kobe Bryants, the LeBron Jameses and...
The 4 to 15.
There
was number 4 to 15 back when we played. There was no number 23s or 28s or 31s or anything like that. If you didn't have number on your top 4 to 15, you weren't allowed to go on the court. We had Magic Johnson back in our day.
Oh, you had Larry Bird, Magic Johnson,
yeah.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah, we had Dennis, DJ Johnson, CJ Johnson's brother.
Dr. J, all those guys.
Yeah, Danny Ainge, Robert Parrish.
Big Celtics fan, I can sense.
Lakers fan.
So the pain they caused you in all those finals.
They were great back then, like James Worthy and Kurt Rambis, Michael Cooper.
Byron Scott, all those guys.
Yeah, that was a great era. And then Michael Jordan come along and...
ruined the game, as they say.
I don't know if he ruined it, but he certainly took the limelight off Magic Johnson and Larry Bird a little bit. But I think the best duo, two of the best duos I've ever seen, or 3 best duos I've ever seen, is Dennis Johnson and Larry Bird. They worked amazingly together. And Kareem and Magic Johnson, then obviously Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. So it's good to see that old school basketball.
It's always interesting to see how much it impacts the modern game. I thought Cam Brown landed before he got that one up, but I mean, how do you compare the modern game, Glenn? I mean, you played all through, your juniors and through to your seniors in the 80s and, parts of the 90s, and then you see today's game, which is so perimeter orientated. How do you, what are the main differences, and how do you, I mean, as a fan and as someone who's played, how do you rate the modern game?
Oh no, it's really good. It's the NBL's got back to where it needs to be over the last few years. It's great to watch, and the players are so quick and they're so athletic these days. The players are a lot more athletic than when I sort of played.
Do you think athleticism somewhat replaced the ability to use a skill set, though, and fundamentals?
I think people like people dunking rather than, or hitting big three-point shots rather than doing the basics and getting an easy shot. But that's how basketball is these days. Defence, you look at the NBA and there's not that much defence. The focus isn't defence.
It's offence.
Who can score. I think in the NBL, defence wins games. I know you've got to score points, but defence wins games. And I know one of my good friends, Dean Vickerman, who coaches Melbourne United, I caught up with him just after they won the championship last year, or the year before I should say, and we talked about the defence, and he said that's what won them the game. He said, I've got the players that can score, but if our defence isn't there, we're going to get beaten. So, but in today's game, offence, people want to, it's flary, it's Larry, people want to see people dunk and do the fun stuff. They don't want to slow it down and
take time out of the game to make the most of it, so capitalise on it, so to speak.
And you look at the Southern Huskies, they're exciting brand of basketball. They play hard D and stuff, but it's a bit of showtime as well. So
big blocks, big threes, big dunks. And I mean, one thing you mentioned there too with the defence is something that the Hobart Huskies coach, Mark Chivers, has tried to really illustrate the last couple of weeks, is that he said, it's all well and good to throw 100 points, but if you concede 110, you're not going to win a game.
That's exactly right. That's a good call by Mark.
Yeah, really emphasised that. In fact, some, I wouldn't say screaming matches, but he was very vocal at times at some of the training sessions I've been to, just really emphasising, defensive stance and understanding where your help defence is. And,
and it's interesting, when I grew up, if someone's right-handed, you don't let them dribble with their right hand at all.
No, you stick on their right side.
Yep, and then you just bring them down to a corner, then you've got a double team and you steal the ball and take it. So there's not so much that sort of, the defence, I think today is probably not as tough, but back when I played,
would you say it was more physical back then?
It was a lot more physical, and we're playing against Mal Conways and Brendan Stanwiches and people like that, and no blood, no foul. We got used to that.
Yeah.
We were younger guys, so we got bumped around. There was no calls, but you had to earn your respect, and I copped a lot of elbows.
Big block there by Pawson as we talk about defence, but even in the NBA today, you've only got to see the rules that they've relaxed. You can't even check a guy as he comes across the lane. You've got that freedom of movement initiative. It's certainly opened up the game, but as you said, it seems to have really restricted defences and taken the focus away from the game itself.
Yeah, and this is why it's good seeing the Hobart Huskies players play in this league, and now Terry Nasunda's playing from the Southern Huskies, and also BJ Ratcliffe from the Southern Huskies. So back when we were young, we used to, when I was a towel boy for the ABC Top Shot and stuff like that, we were lucky enough that all the imports played for local clubs in Hobart, so the competition was really, really strong. So every Tassie Devils NBL player had to play in the local comp, and we'd get 300-400 people to a usual roster game, and then 1,000 for the grand finals. So
Hargrave there with a long three. Just a bit of perspective there, ladies and gentlemen, on just how the game used to be and what many think the game should be. As Hutchins goes inside to Brezinchek. He's caught the double team. Great steal there by Hargrave. He's off and running. Wants to get inside. Fouled in his steps and makes that one.
Yeah, that's a good drive by Geordie. And that's what he might just need, that one basket just to bring his confidence up. However, he is going to have a sub if he makes his foul shot, because Dwayne Davies subbing him for the shooter.
Yeah, coming in confidently. Looks like Ethan Martin still with the warm-up top there, hasn't come in. And Lockie Boucher limited minutes tonight as well. I'm wondering whether Lockie's still carrying I know he had a bit of an injury earlier in the year. I wonder whether he's still a bit sore from that.
Yeah, I know he did have an injury, and then he was a bit sick.
Yeah, was suffering with illness as well. Substitution there, and again, that'll see Hargrave out for Davey. Other court now, 54-58. So that one tighter than I predicted. I'm able to get a score check on that. And I'll see whether Ronnie can update me as soon as possible. Van Sant now with the ball. The Kings are going to have to get moving. It's out to 25 points. They have not scored this quarter until now.
That's a great shot by Noah Stratzman there. He's a good little player.
That's their first basket of this quarter, the Kings. 10-2 run for the Hobart Phoenix. And that one, a foul there. And they've called that one on Pawson. And they're not sure what that one's about there. That'll be 14 fouls now on the Kings, and I'm going to suggest that Hobart's going to try and capitalise on it.
Hobart will definitely capitalise on that. That was a nice shot by Noah Stratzman down there. I just wish he'd have a few more shots.
As Ronald comes over, just wanting to get a score update there, Ronald, as he's over having a look.
Glenorchy down by 60 to 54 at the moment.
Thank you very much there. So again, the Wolves were trailing. They're now back in that game and probably looking to capitalise for the rest of the quarter and certainly the rest of the game. That'll be Bain Shepherd there with the ball. John G. Morgan yet to check into the game tonight. Strathmore needs to open up with these 3-pointers.
There was a beautiful team play down on the bottom, down the other end before, where Dwayne Davies scored his 2, however. He just got the ball stolen off him by Elijah Pawson. Elijah finished up on an easy basket.
Trying to negate points when you score them is, again, defence wins games and wins championships. I mean, that's just one of those things. No point putting the 3 up if you're going to concede one at the other end. Brown inside that big looping drive out to Corey Davey. He's going inside again as we've spoken. Fake left, go right, gets a tip. Thought he was bodied, didn't get it, and Cam Brown makes the follow-up. 39-64 now, back to 25 points in favour of Hobart. They're going to want to stretch that out, and they're probably looking at a 40-point lead here if they can tire out their opposition. As Brezinchek has the ball, was opened up to go inside, didn't use it. Strathmore inside, that stretch 5. Great athletic finish there by Noah. We've talked about him a lot tonight, but they're the sort of shots he's got to make, Glenn.
And he can make. It's just his confidence. Once his confidence gets up, I think he can be a really dominant force in this league.
Good drop pass there by Brown, unable to be rewarded. I don't know whether Davey wanted the foul or whether he's just unhappy with the finish, but certainly gave the ref a bit of a look.
I think he was happy that they got the ball back as well. But I think that you take Masunda, who's actually dominated on the scoring this game thus far. All the other Phoenix players have contributed evenly, I think.
Yep.
Robbie Inches has done what he's needed to do. He hasn't had to get 20 points or so the teamwork's really good, and that's going to take this team far into the finals this year.
Corey with a deep bank shot. Rare that you see the old bank shot now, Glenn.
Put a bit of a smile on the face as he ran backwards then, so I'm not sure if he meant that or...
Yeah, I think him and Adam Van Sant just having a lovely little conversation about that. I don't know if it was intended. As superstar of the competition, Thompson goes past. Interesting to see how she pulls up after an ankle injury. As Strathmore makes that one.
A 3-pointer there, so he's got the last probably
7 points, I think it is now.
7 out of the last 9 points.
It's a 44-66, back to a 22-point ball game, and Hobart just not always clicking on all cylinders. Boucher gets his first points now of the SBL season. He's checked back in, and I'm just wondering whether he'll get an extended go on the floor here heading into the fourth.
Again, that was a great pass inside from Corey Davey.
And there's Strathmore, that length, just the advantage as Davey just putting a bit of sharpening on the elbows there as he grabs the rebound.
Well, Lockie Boucher does change, and Corey Davey do change people's shots, which they did for Strathmore then.
There's that second three-pointer. He's made it! Can you believe it? I don't think anyone can believe it. I've
never seen him, Dwayne, take a 3-point shot before, so maybe he should take him.
Well, it's on film. I don't think anyone can believe
that's a ripper.
that.
That's a ripper.
Well, he did have form, Glenn. We saw that half quarter nearly go in. As Pawson, great athletic finish.
And it didn't look like missing. He knew as soon as he shot it, he was ready here, arm up, walking back.
Is he going to take it? Oh, well, they're dealing him up now.
And the bench is loving it over there. They're all smiles.
He's just on fire here, Dwayne.
I reckon he will frame this video game.
Yeah, let's just say that this one will be up fresh tomorrow. He'll want to get a clip of that. I might even upload the single highlight itself to the SBL page. Bain Shepherd caught the back of the ring there. Big offensive rebound.
And just
there.
down the other end, as we're talking about Dwayne, Corey Davey just used his strength to get another 2 points.
Yeah, just brute. And I mean, he's oversized. Boucher for a 3. He can make them 2. Misses that time. Brezinchek with the ball. I actually can't. I'm still. That's going up as its own highlight. As Strathmore with that misses.
I just wonder if he'll take when it's up on film that he presses pause and takes a photo from his lounge room of the TV with him behind the 3-point line just as he's shooting it.
Well, Ronnie is on the court at the moment, so it'd be interesting. Corey Davies going to try a 3. Yeah, just trying to outshine his brother there. Probably not going to work.
Good rebound there from Nolan Strathmore.
Absolutely, and a good floater there. Was boxed out early. Boxed out very early by Corey Davey. No foul called. He wanted a foul. Substitution there. Corey checking out of the game. Nick Parker checking in. Meanwhile, Michael Klapsis checks into the game.
If anything, then I think Strathmore thought that Corey, when he was in the air, Corey turned around, which he did to box out, but Noah probably thought it was an illegal defence, whereas it's a standard thing for a big man to box out once someone shoots. I didn't see anything really wrong with it.
We've just had almost an illegal substitution. The Kings picked up on that there, nearly 6 players. As the Cray Cooker grabs the rebound. Boucher with the ball, want to go inside. Screen by Masunda. Thought it would have been the other way. Stretch floor, Nick Barker. Baseline, no good. Rebound by Strathmore, 30 seconds to go. Forcing now with the ball. He'll be wanting to take that. Doesn't make it. Nick Barker with the ball, a big body, and the Cray Cooker down the floor. Camera side, the Cray Cooker loses the handle. Geez, he's backed into the opponent, dribble around. Masunda just going to calm it down a bit. Going to go isolation. Suppose they didn't go 1 and 4. All those triple team here, this is ridiculous. Got to give it to Newett, who's got to get it up.
There's going to be no shot, no time.
There. He's doing it straight into a trap.
That's good defence by Kingston. That's a positive to go into the third quarter. Although they're down by 27 points.
I love how you... Great positive, but it just sort of fades out when you check the scoreboard. 3-quarter time, 73-46, and I don't think doesn't take a brave man to suggest all over Red Rover, does it?
It's all over Red Rover. However, it's still a good game to watch. Both teams are still doing some good things. Obviously, Phoenix are doing some really good things, but I think Kingston can get a lot out of this game by playing against such good opposition. It's going to make them stronger as they prepare for other teams in the future weeks. But Phoenix, with this team that they've got, are going to be very hard to beat, especially with Glenorchy, with Boyd Heather out. I think when he comes back, they're going to be a bit more strengthened up, ready to have a crack at Phoenix. And Jordan Stanwicks, if his health is good, it'll be a great game between these two teams. But Dwayne Davey, I'm not sure if Ronnie saw it. Dwayne Davey
hitting his first career three-point shot.
Actually, have never seen that before, so I was pretty impressed. That's been the best. He's got my 3 votes just for that shot. Terry Masunda 2 votes.
Absolutely. As we thank Glenn Fairfield for his comments once again, we'll catch him next week. He's back.
Huskies TV. No, West Coast Ball Connection, Terry.
Are you allowed to get a live interview, T? What have you made of the game so far?
Independent as well.
To the team. And he'll be fine for his comments. Ronnie, it's bro. No. This is all but done, Glenn. We'll catch you later for a chat. And what are they called here?
Double foul. So it's on collapses and Boucher for simultaneous thing at the same time.
That's a first double foul I think it's the first double foul I've ever witnessed, Ronnie. A lot of firsts tonight.
I was going to say,
Dwayne Davies' first 3, an inbound violation in senior basketball, and a double foul. It's all happening here.
Yes.
And I'll tell you what else is happening. That's Terry Masunda dominating this game, Ronnie. He's got to have 30, I reckon.
We might have to mic him up next week, I think.
Yeah, I don't know what league
camera on him.
Don't know what league regulations say about it, but if he's going to be a regular player.
Shana Thompson is walking past.
Kicks the tripod. That'll be a fine.
Meanwhile, Kingston made a 2 down the other end.
Yeah, they're going to need to really lift here, Kingborough, to make this a respectable. And that's what it's going to need to be, a respectable margin, because I don't think they're going to win this game, mate.
All right. Meanwhile, back in the ball game. I'll come back to double fouls in a minute. As Strathmore picks it off. And
the Cray Cooker with another turnover.
Strathmore with those teardrops as he goes for it again.
The Cray Cooker's just got to slow down a bit. He looked a bit cooked himself, old Nui. The cardio working a lot, but I don't think the cardiovascular training's come in. All he needs to weigh off the old bench press and the lateral pull downs.
Yeah, I was going to say he's very well built, James Newett.
And that's why
on cue he puts up a 3 and just off. As Collapses gets the board and brings it down. Now Collapses goes one way, then the other, gets a bump and will get a foul. Just go back to double foul. I've called some double fouls in my time, so it's no surprise on that situation back in the first play of the quarter there that when something like that happens, sometimes the refs have no choice but to go, all right, we'll just pen on both of you because you're virtually doing the same thing. And that cleaned it up, and we haven't seen one for the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, I must say, the amount of times you've probably reffed the QBA where I should have called that, Ronnie, or I didn't, obviously, because, that's a bit of a blood sport down on the West Coast at times.
Absolutely.
But as we look here, 73-50, 23-point margin here to Hobart. On the other floor.
Wolves should still be up.
Wolves are on the right-hand side of the scoreboard?
Yeah.
Yep.
I know it's Glenorchy on the left.
Yeah, they're up 68-61. Glenorchy looked like they were up and about early in that game, Ronnie.
And also, too, there's been a fill-in coach
Justin Muscat not available?
Yeah, Justin is not there tonight, so they're brought down. Now, I believe she's head coach of Latrobe Women's.
Very good.
From the NWBU. Now, I believe that it's a relation to Sarah O'Neill. I'm not sure if it's her actual mother or it's somebody. It's
Usually
somebody
only have
else.
Usually only have one mother, Ronnie, so I hope it's her actual mother.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably Sarah O'Neill's mother would be a great guess. I'm assuming Sarah's playing.
I think it's Kate. I think it's her name's Kate. I'm pretty sure.
So we're assuming that Sarah is playing in that game.
Yeah, Sarah is playing for Glenorchy. I can guarantee you that.
Are they a full side over there, Ronnie? Becca Hill, Kate Berry.
I think they are.
There you go, 2 full sides over there. Misinformed, thanks to Coach Justin Muscat, who actually let me know that he only had 4 at training last night, so he couldn't even give me a definite answer on the lineups.
There you go. Claps has missed first on the free throw. Makes second. Marching back out to 22 now.
Yeah, it's been a good resurgence here in the quarter for Kingborough, but unfortunately, I mean, took them a long time to get into that second quarter. Struggled in the first, to get into that third quarter. I apologise, and just those first half struggles have really cost them in the end.
Now that'll be on Collapses because he impeded Hargrave's path there, so you got to give benefit down to the offence on that call.
Yeah.
So that's there. Now substitution or now no?
No, just wanted to reset the shot clock.
Right.
They dwindled down to 10 inches with the ball. Got to get a body on him. Thought he was fouled.
Dolliver claiming.
I'm shocked. Greg Dolliver fouling someone in the paint is not a normal occurrence or anything, Ronnie. Yeah, 73-51. This one's almost over. Speaking to our friend AOS, Glenn Fairfield, he was saying that a lot of the games he's actually putting up are a lot of games of which he was playing in. So junior national titles, senior games on the coast. Robbie Inches that was marked A2. But yeah, just a lot of retro games. I mean, he mentioned City got his hands on around 20 beta tapes from the 80s. Great finish, unlucky there. Michael Clapsis with a great drive. But yeah, City managed to get his hand on some old beta tapes from the 80s. So that's why he's been able to convert them and get them online.
Yes, there's a handful of us that have got a few things in the archives going around, and yes, Glenn's been on the hunt, so which is good to see, and I know what he's trying to achieve, and good on him as Phoenix bring down the ball through Jordan Hargraves.
Some familiar faces back in their younger days, so to speak, Ronnie.
Absolutely. You can check that out on his YouTube channel. As Hargraves goes for 3. Of course, you can see all our games on the Hobart Senior Basketball League YouTube page. Baines Shepard put up a runner, but Hargraves equal to the challenge defensively. Inches will nearly run out of real estate, able to reel it back in. Now ball's going to get kicked around. Inches for a long 2, yes.
Dangerous from that range, Robbie Inches. The 3-point line having been extended back in the last decade probably hasn't helped his cause because, I mean, back when the 3 was just that little bit shorter, Robbie was certainly dangerous and, I mean, couldn't be left open then. I mean, probably can now, not worth as much, but still a valuable shot you don't want to give up. A late foul call there by Andrew Johnson on goal to the advantage of Dolliver.
Yeah, is that Corey's 3rd or 4th? So I'm not trying to pick up.
He has had a few.
Yeah, I was going to say it's either his 3rd or 4th because he picked 2 fouls up earlier in the game. Elijah Pawson will come back in.
Yes, Pawson will come in and out will go number 5.
We don't have one. They must have brought up someone from the reserves, I reckon, Jobo.
It's not Matt. Is it not Matt Nyhouse?
I don't think so. We'll have to double check and get back to everyone on that one.
Thought I had all the lists down, Ronnie, after 8 weeks, but unfortunately everyone's decided to debut tonight.
We may have to put in squad lists, I think, from now on in, JB.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. These are squad lists.
Good grief, as Inches puts up a 2, that it does rattle out.
That's the first shot he's missed in about fucking 100 years.
Brings it down the floor. Brezinchek for 3. That one rails out as well too, so the ring split as Shana Thompson makes another appearance for our broadcast.
Loves the camera, doesn't like to be
Shana has specifically requested, as Brown puts up the 3 and knocks it down.
What has she specifically requested?
She's wanting photos, JB. I thought the photos on the weekend from NBL1 weren't enough. She wants more photos in seniors tonight. She wants something for her Instagram page.
Well, I'm surprised she hasn't got someone operating the old Snapchat for her. She's usually got someone filming her basketball fame and claim on there.
Shepherd misses the 2 as Inches comes down to the floor. Brown for back-to-back threes. That's a rarity if it went. Now foul off the ball.
No, I think Hargrave was out of bounds there, actually.
Oh, he was? Okay.
Yeah, baseline out of bounds. Van Sant checking in, Bain Shepherd heading out. And it's been a long night here for the Kings. Margin now out to 30. And I mean, they're probably lucky it didn't go earlier in the game, Ronnie. It was just one of those affairs where they couldn't get on the board. And I mean, Tiri Masunda absolutely lit up through the first 3 quarters. And I doubt we'll see him again tonight.
Yeah, Tiri's done all that he can.
Well, put it this way, they're all playing for second at this point. There's 3 votes, definitely the team Masunda.
So Pawson missed the 3. Oliver couldn't get the tip. Davey had the rebound. Inches up the floor now. Hargraves and Pawson battling each other. Davey now back to his brother Dwayne for number 2 there on the 3s.
Yeah, that would have been his second 3. Nearly made a half-court shot there heading into the half. As
Davey.
Cam Brown goes short corner, can't make that. But
No.
yeah, Dwayne a little trigger happy by his own standards, I'd say.
Oh, I say when you, as Strathmore puts up wants an and 1, and he might get the call, but
Very lucky, probably not to pick up a technical
Yeah.
there, actually. That was audible, to say the least.
you'd say so. In a closer game, I'd say so. I mean, I think a little bit frustrated tonight, but you know, you're going to have those nights, and you've got to just battle through contact. As Hargraves for a 3.
That was curry
Yes.
range. That was big. Yeah, Strathmore just a little frustrated. He's been playing that stretch 5 all year for Kingston, and unfortunately just a little undersized body mass-wise, and just does get bumped around a little bit, and unfortunately probably doesn't get some of the calls he would like.
And no doubt in years to come, he will build himself up as Pawson goes top of the key, long, Cam Brown with the board, and Hargraves bring it down. Now 4.5 to play here in the quarter number 4 as Hargraves tries to do something that probably he shouldn't have done. As Pawson, good Euro. Short on that one.
$1 million move with a 5-cent finish there. He usually capitalise on that, but the Kings just coming to a bit of a skid after recent weeks of success. They've looked pretty good. Just tonight they've run into a bigger and much better opponent in Hobart as Lockie Boucher checks back in. He'll probably play the rest of this quarter out. Limited minutes for Lockie. He's had injury concerns up in the northwest there, and coming off a bit of a bug that had him pretty crooked there for a couple of weeks. So good to see Lockie back out on the floor.
Yes, good to see Bouch here, and of course his dad's here tonight, the commissioner of the league, as Boucher goes for 3. That's way short.
Geordie Hargrave trying to fight over about 8 people. Strathmore wanted to get rid of it. He's been, I think that one there.
Yeah, that was a. Strathmore got one in the Strathmore got one in the stomach, and
Yeah, I think he got a bit of a collision to the side of the knee there, Ronnie. Just as he grabs that part of his leg. I mean, as we know, fairly tender when you clash there, but I mean that's sort of hard too when you've got that extra length on your limbs, and trying to get out of the way is not as easy.
no, definitely not. No, Shepherd, as we are under 4 to play. Shepherd, nice drive, and we'll get the basket and go to line for 1.
Yeah, he's played all right tonight, Bain Shepherd. Probably just a few things that he'll pick up on eventually. I memean, especially at senior level, but a capable athlete, a capable player. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes for the rest of the game and certainly the rest of the season. 29-point ball game here as the Kings women have started to flood over. They're seeing this as a possible win game tonight, Ronnie, particularly considering Kylie McCauley being out and the Kings being at full strength.
Yes, and of course Phoenix will bring back in Shana Thompson and Britt Parker. As Inches with it, we'll go to Davey, now cross court to Newark. Hargraves from Bellreeve Oval, that's off. Boucher with the rebound.
Boucher inside.
Nice, good work there. Boucher going from Latrobe to Hobart once again.
Managed to actually stay in the court for his shot, unlike Jordan, who wanted to head to the Eastern Shore for a bit of a pre-drink for the uni night Wednesdays.
Van Sant for 3.
He's made it too.
Made the 3. I was just processing your comment.
Ronnie's got no idea what I'm on about.
No.
Half the time I don't, and neither do the viewers, but it doesn't matter. They've got visuals.
Excellent. All right, Corey Davey with it. As he goes to Sean Hargraves. Shepherd very close to nearly getting the foul there. Boucher, kick it back. Yeah, good ball movement. Hargraves for 3. Yes.
He's had a pretty good run of shooting the last few weeks, Jordan, and not quite to the standard he had the other last week, but I mean, when a Terry Masunda walks into the side, you sort of got to let him go to work.
So Brezinchek with it. Now
Bane Shepherd wants that. He called it early, and that one's
he did.
just...
He knows it. He knows it too. I mean, hell, when a player does practice shooting strokes straight away after a missed three like that, they know.
Yeah.
They know.
That's often a cover-up for a bad shot, though, Ronnie.
That is correct. Now, substitution coming back in. It's one of the reserve players from reserve men. Oh, we'll need to get our good friend Pete Stone to let us know who that player is afterwards, and we'll make sure we note that for future Kingston games.
Yeah, he'll be in the. Don't worry, he'll be in the squad. He'll be in the squad list come the end of the night, no doubt about it.
So Barker for the 2. That's short. His brother Callum actually graduating from college as Jordan Hargrave here comes into our broadcast position area.
I'll tell you what, we're getting closer and closer each week to a collision, Ronnie. I'm not banking on it anytime soon.
No, as Kingston put over 2, that was off.
Strangely enough, gave a bit of a wry smile to his teammates who wanted nothing to do with it. And Dolliver's just stood there and forced the contact from Hargrave. I'm not going to be shocked if that's Dolly's 5th. And it's not actually.
No, the bench are not. No, Jordan Stacey over there just not giving us any indication that was his 5th foul. Jordan Hargraves will go to the line for 2, and James Newitt and Bane Shepherd have a bit of a conversation in front of us.
Yeah, the crayfish cooker himself is managed to get back on the floor. Played some big minutes tonight, James. Probably not going to be the happiest with his production, but again, it just goes to show at the moment the depth that Hobart have running through their camp.
Yeah, nice play there. And just rattled out. That really should have went in. That was well deserved as Boucher. Now Inches.
Bit of a crowd building to the end of this game. A lot of women walking in ready for their battle as Hargrave misses that.
Now, right.
And Newitt just forcing the turnover there,
Good
actually.
D. So Inches calling out the play, trying to get these youngsters involved and trying to go back door to Boucher. That was never on. Collapses, Inches, and Collapses will get the better of that one.
Bit of slapstick comedy to finish there as Inches comes down the floor, and I think Hobart are just going to want to let this run out. It's now a 30-point game. And
so they're still trying to run a bit of structure though. You can see there's a bit of pointing direction and trying to get through some sets. And
you can't allow yourself to get complacent, Ronnie. I would imagine that at some point percentage probably plays a factor in it as Shepherd makes that, but you don't want to be a side that, if it comes down to a percentage situation at the end of the year that misses out because you couldn't finish out a game strong.
Absolutely. Good to see, good to see. So, ball inside the Boucher. Now Barker, Newitt, one to go new now, Darby on to Oliver. Oliver doesn't like it. I think that might be number 5, I think. No, again, Jordan Stacey on the bench is not indicating anything to the referees.
I think the real question is, do they realise a foul was? I mean, they obviously do now. I don't know who they're putting it on as. The crayfish cooker goes inside, bang, makes the first free throw. I don't know whether it's one of those specials where they make 2 free throws and you get the discount at them. No Mewers. I don't think there's been a Mewers. Don't think there's been a... It was 5 fouls.
It was. So score table. I'll have a talk with Jordan Stacey.
Now, Ronnie, question. Although we have no Mewers deal tonight on the crayfish and on the crayfish cooker, what's the go there with taking a player out late after 5 fouls? Is that just a matter of waiting to the next stop in play?
Yeah, it's just way, or stop the game immediately and go from there. Sam makes a nice little bank off there, off low ball.
And that'll be one shot, unfortunately. They've got to do it.
Shot clock and game clock in unison, JB. It's like
absolute unison.
As Newitt for the 2 and gets it.
Garbage time points for the big man. He won't mind me saying that. I'll tell you what, if I wasn't a close friend, I wouldn't even think about it. Hargrave's flown for the mark on the wing there.
They're still playing this out. 5.8 to go. I mean, no one wants to, and they'll just dribble that one out. Both teams recognise that, so...
Yeah, she's over.
And a good win here by the Hobart Phoenix. Win this one by 30, 95 to 65.
Yeah, big win there from Hobart, and almost had it all the way, really had it all the way wrapped up early in the first quarter there, Ronnie. They've pretty much had an unassailable lead and made the most of it from there. I mean, there's not much else to say, really. Hobart outplayed them. Terry Masunda lit it up. What else can you say, really?